Hello, this is Åsa with a new process video. Today I'm making use of this old background that I did way back and that never got used. So I'm covering it up with a rather generous layer of gesso, and I'm just spreading it out with an old half-sized ruler that I had in my pen bucket, and then I'm spraying the background when the gesso is still wet with two colors of Heidi Swap Color Shine, and I'm adding some more, and then I'm using my brayer for the first time. And this is a really cheap brayer that I bought from China, and I just wanted to get some kind of feel of how the the brayer works and what you can do with it. So I bought a cheap one, and I love it. It's just wonderful. The effect is just amazing. I loved it, and I will most definitely be using it a lot, like this with gesso and mixing two colors. Just imagine the different color effects that you can make with this technique. You can go everywhere. Just take your average Pinterest board and find a color combination, smash it on the paper with gesso, and just spread it with the brayer. I think you can make wonders with this technique. So this will be my background. It looks like it has been $2 paper, but I did it in less than a minute. These craft colored papers, this craft colored paper, I have painted with modeling paste. It's colored modeling paste through one of my own homemade stencils, and I did them when I had some leftover paint a while back, or I don't really know when it was, but anyway, I made these just to get rid of the paint. I thought that I might use them later, and now is that later time, and I'm cutting it out so that I get these chunks of dots to layer on my layout. And I was a bit skeptic about this because they have the same shape, but when turning them a bit around, that's not as obvious as I first thought. And I will also be layering my photo on top of these papers, so I don't think that the similarity will be too obvious. This is the photo that I will be using for this page, and it is one of myself, and it's taken early this year. We went to the beach to just have some wind blowing through my hair. It's one of those need to have moments for me. I say that if I can't have wind in my hair and I can feel and see the waves, my soul stops, and I think that's basically true. It was a beautiful sunshiny day, and I have plenty more photos from this occasion, so there will be more layouts with this event in the future. I needed the photo to stand on something, so I cut a part of that craft colored paper to form like a shelf for my photo to sit on, and that will not be that obvious in the finished layout, but I think it's an important piece for the grounding of this photo block. I placed a white doily behind the photo, and it's also to frame it a bit from the heavy colored background here with different shades of yellow and blue. At first I thought that I would place this piece a background on the opposite angle, so that I get, for example, the yellow at the bottom and the blue at the top, but I realized that I wanted it like this, with the yellow very prominent to the right here, and I guess you can do either way, depending on what kind of effect you want to have. But in this case, I really wanted it in this direction. I really like these big chunks of dotted papers. They, in one way, they look like sand, but the grains of sand are light instead of being darker. That you could suppose it to be in a way, but at the same time it looks like some organism, like shells or loofah or some exotic coral or something like that, and I think that was one of the things that reminded me of the sea and the sand and the beach, with these patterns. And you can see that the sand in the photo has almost the same color as the tan or the craft paper that I have been doing this stenciling on too, and that was really fun. It's almost like it's continuing onto the embellishments there, and the yellow in the background paper picks up on the yellow dots in a way that I think is really striking. And you can always also see that the yellow in the highlights on my hair, it's the same type of yellow as in the dots and in the yellow on the background paper. I'm very pleased with this color combination. Here I'm starting to cut out my alpha stickers. These are homemade ones that I have printed onto what's it called? A sticker paper, adhesive, double adhesive, no, adhesive paper. And I've been thinking about it for a while. Perhaps it's more easy to use if it's not on adhesive paper, because then you can use your ordinary liquid adhesive or a glue pen and just stick them to the backside or to the project, instead of spending a lot of time trying to get the back protective sheet off the individual letters, because that's really the time-consuming part. And perhaps next time I will do just a sheet of this on a little bit of thicker paper and use it like that. I think that might be a really nice idea. I know that a lot of people are doing these word stickers now, or on ordinary paper, and just gluing them down with the normal adhesive. I need to give it some more thought and see what I can do with the idea. I'm using a couple of my homemade plastic dots on these in these same colors as the rest of the layout, white, blue and yellow, and I think they make a really nice impression, and I'm making sure to use a couple of different sizes for the perfect eye candy kind of effect. The blue stands out a little bit too much on the page, but I decided to live with it. The title of the page is Right Where I Belong, and I thought that was a really inspirational kind of sentiment on this page, this being the third of my mixed media series, therapeutical kind of where I am now, what I need to work with at the moment, and this is kind of the goal page to where I am, and this is right where I belong, and this was kind of when I went into the more lighter and more normal state of mind during my scrapbooking days. on these photos you can see that I have also made dots with these glossy accent to resemble drops of water. I really like that. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. This is Åsa. Bye!